7 seasons that apparently winter is coming. And apparently it's finally arrived. Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Chaos Reviews, and I'm back after a little bit of a hiatus after the whole wedding and a whole bunch of other things, but I'm looking to pick up where I left off with some pretty kick-ass reviews for all those popular animes and shows and movies and all the good stuff that you guys love. Anyways, thanks for joining once again, as I said. Now let's get to what we've all been waiting for seems like an eternity, because this thing kept getting delayed and delayed. Let's review Season 7, Episode 1 of, yes, Game of Thrones. So, we start off with Walder Frey. Last time we seen him was his throat was being slit, so maybe we were kind of like, is this guy a zombie? Is he a White Walker? No, I obviously, right off the bat, remembered it, and I knew it was Arya. I know a few people definitely might have forgotten the whole thing, but yeah, I knew that was Arya, and I knew she was there to get some damn revenge, and I totally seen the poison Kool-Aid coming. And man, that scene was awesome. It was like everything I think many of us have been waiting for. Anybody that it's, a Stark fan, and that just hates the phrase, like that guy, he did such a good job of making everybody hate him. That scene was just so it was just so fitting. Her giving the talk, like, congrats on you guys for killing a pregnant lady, cutting off Robb Stark's head and sewing his wolf to it, slitting a mother's throat and all this stuff. Kind of condescending and being cocky and talking down to them, and they're all kind of like, yeah, that was pretty cool. And then they're not quite getting it, but they start to get it the more Walter keeps talking. And man, the justice was so satisfying when they started puking up the blood, and then she rips off the face. She played his character so damn good too, when she looks at the girl and is just like, no, I'm not gonna waste any wine on a woman. I was like, damn, that's probably exactly what he'd say. So, but apparently, I don't know if she just thought they were, well, I guess they were innocent, but she needs somebody to tell the story of what happened here and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting. Then we kind of skip along and we see the army of the dead moving along the White Walkers, and holy shit, that army is getting more scary as we see it. We've got the zombie horses. Those things are super freaking scary looking, huh? Zombie horses? Damn, but the scariest thing was in the back that we haven't seen until this point, and it was giant White Walkers. I don't know if it's the ones that died in the war and they just re-rose them or whatever, or I'm not really sure, but we haven't seen them until this point, and it was like a giant skeleton. It was crazy, and it was scary, and damn, this is going to be a huge battle whenever this happens. Then we kind of skip forward to see how old Winterfell is doing with Lord Snow. I guess he's maybe Stark now. I'm not sure. I can't remember if he took the Stark name or if he's still going by Snow. He must have taken the Stark name. But anyways, he's sitting on a council with Sansa, with all of the North pretty well. And Sansa's pushing to basically exile the Umbers and the Karstarks, because she can't stand what they did for turning their backs on Robb Stark. But, Robb did make a lot of piss poor decisions, and yeah, it's like, he kind of did piss everybody, he made a lot of wrong decisions anyways. But Jon, he stands his ground, even though Sansa's pushing and undermining him that whole time and the whole thing. And he's just saying, when I was Lord of the Wall, I executed people for treason, for this, for that. My father did the same thing. And, in the end, I'm not going to punish a son for something his father did, because he had nothing to do with it. They say, you know nothing, Jon Snow. Well, apparently he knows a little bit. Seeing the whole Ned Stark thing coming through him, being all righteous and all that kind of stuff, which is, you know, pretty good. But it did get Ned killed in the long run, and it did get Jon killed in the long run as well. So he's got to be careful not to be too soft, right? And that's what Sansa actually says to him shortly after, is Robb made a lot of stupid decisions. So did her dad. He doesn't want to see the same thing happened with Jon. But I got him agree with what Jon said there. It was pretty cool. He makes the Karstarks and the Umbers kneel to him, resubmit their houses and words and all that kind of stuff to them, you know, swear the sword to them, bend the knee, which was pretty sweet. He sends Tormund Giantsbane. He's like, I can't think of anyone better to defend the castle, where the White Walkers are probably going to hit first, and if that place gets breached, we need to have a backup plan and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'll protect that, no problem. I guess we're Watchers of the Wall now. And then that whole scene when he sees Brienne, like beating the crap out of the old squire of he's just like beating him around, and then he comes up to her and he's just like, man, you are so lucky. That was just awesome. It was great. And then we see Sansa keep blowing off Littlefinger and just like being, you know, quite the piece to him. Don't blame her, obviously, but if, you know, like, she should be pretty smart. She's seen what he's capable of and all that kind of stuff. If I was her, I would probably, you know, play both sides of the sword a little bit. Make sure, like, he still kind of likes me, but, you know, like, not piss him off too much. Be really careful with what you do around him, because he's a snake. You gotta be careful with him. She apparently knows what he wants. Hard to say with him. Like, we all thought he wanted her as a wife there for a while, and then he kind of pawned her off to Ramsay. That was kind of weird. But yeah, then we move over to Cersei, who's got this like painting of like the world, or the Westeros anyways, on the floor, and she's trying to come up with battle plans, because like she's watched her father over the years and she's learned a thing or two, and she's trying to tell Jaime, like, you know, like, you're supposed to be the soldier. What are we supposed to do here? And he's like, well, we don't have any allies and all this kind of stuff. We lost this, we lost that. And she's like, everyone's our enemy and all these kinds of things, eh? But he's like, we haven't even talked about Tommen and stuff like that. And she just blows it off. Like, she is cold as ice. Holy crap, Cersei is cold. Then we see her sitting on the throne, and she gets proposition from the new Greyjoy king, who proposes to her. But he said he'll be back with a wedding gift, basically. I'll bring you something that will make you want to marry me. I'm not sure what that's going to be, if it's going to be like the head of a dragon, or like what he thinks he's going to bring, but we'll see. We see Sam doing this crazy, you know, like one of those musical things you see on the internet. He's like gagging and like scraping pots, and they're making music of it, all these little cutscenes. Oh man, that was awesome. It was great. Yeah, then he steals a book from the restricted area. We'll see how that pans out for him later on. Then we go and see where Arya's headed to, and turns out she's headed to King's Landing. She actually runs into Lannisters. At first I was not quite sure who they were, but like when the camera's kind of far away, all I seen was red, but I was like, yeah, Lannister cloaks and armor, makes sense. And they're all kind of having a little bit of wine and rabbit, and they're just like, so, what brings a little old girl stranger this way? I'm here to kill the queen. And they just burst out laughing. If only they knew. Man, she is kicking ass. Is she gonna kill Cersei, though? That's an interesting question. Then we see the Hound, his character growing like a mountain, no pun intended. This guy's character, we've seen a lot of character development in this episode with him, and we've seen a lot lately. His character just keeps getting deeper and deeper and more interesting, you know. Definitely pretty cool seeing him where he was and now where he is. He's a totally different character. They've done a great job developing the Hound's character, and he's pretty damn likable and like relatable and all that kind of stuff now. Arya and him once stayed at the house where they kind of ended up, and he's like, no, they don't have any mead or wine or ale, like, trust me. And they want to go there anyways. They make him look into the fire. He sees the war with the White Walkers coming up, and they're just like, do you believe me now, kind of thing. And then we see him burying the father and the daughter. Yeah, just a cool character. I'm glad that he didn't die on that hillside there after that whole scuffle with Brienne. And then we see the homecoming of the Queen of Dragons to Dragonstone. Pretty cool little cinematic or whatever, panning out, showing the whole place as they're walking up it, the dragons flying around, all that kind of stuff. And it's all silent as they're all walking around until the very last couple seconds of the episode. And she's just like, well, let's get to it. And then the episode ends. So, great episode. That they did it so good. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Just right off the bat. Boom. Just going to let you guys know, even before the ending of the episode. They did a very good episode. Very good job on this episode. And this is what Walking Dead needs to do. I'm sorry. I love Walking Dead. I collect and read all the graphic novels and love the show, even though sometimes I hate the show. But, Game of Thrones came back and kicked ass. They had character development in this episode, right? For one. And then with the mountain and showing Cersei, how just bitter and cold she's getting even worse, if that's even possible. Arya, and then we get all the satisfying justice and actiony kind of gut wrenching stuff with Arya killing the whole family in one room by herself. Damn, she's badass. And then we're seeing the army, all this build up, and it didn't feel draggy and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't completely action packed, but it had just the right amount of satisfying bits all through the episode that okay, yeah, finally got to see the phrase dice, sweet. Okay, we're seeing the White Walker thing progressing more than it has been, which is cool. So that's going to happen soon. We know it's a short season, so I don't think we're going to get too many kind of shitty half-assed episodes, which is good. Yeah, it was just not a lot of bullshit, which is awesome. So I can't wait till next week's episode, but I think they did a great job on this episode, a 9 or 9.5. Try not to fanboy it up too hard, but I was just really excited. Sucks it was delayed a whole bunch, but hey, if it's gonna be good quality shit like this when it comes back, hey, you can delay it for a little bit. That's fine by me. Let me know what you guys think. Is Arya gonna be the one to kill Cersei? Is Sansa gonna get screwed over by Littlefinger? What else? Jon Snow or Jon Stark. Is he gonna get screwed over by Littlefinger? Oh, and another little tidbit that I noticed when Sam was flipping through the books, that dagger on one of the pages was definitely the dagger that Littlefinger used to own, that was given to the assassin to kill Bran in Winterfell. That was definitely the dagger. I'm not sure what the page said in it. It was made of Valyrian steel. I'm almost positive. Maybe it was just a book saying it's good against them and all this kind of stuff or whatever have you. But that was definitely the dagger. I'm not sure if anybody else noticed that. And apparently there was a little cameo thing with the Lannisters. Ed, I can't remember his name. Sneer. I can't remember. But yeah, apparently he was in there anyways. Just kind of forgetting who he is. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of the episode. Let me know what you guys think of the questions I just asked, and let me know what if you guys want me to keep going with the Dragon Ball Super and the Game of Thrones. See you next week.